Hello. I hope you guys can all hear and see me okay in your upper right. So I'll make sure I've got let's see, turn that off. Okay, if you can hear me okay, go ahead in the chat room and put yes. That always helps me to know whether everything's working smoothly. I want to make sure my sound is good. Yay, great. You can all hear me well. That is wonderful. I was always checking all good. Phew. Always so good. I'm so glad that you are here. Welcome, welcome to this workshop, free workshop, all about goal setting, planning for your 2021. There's no better time, right? We are 1 week into this year. So what a perfect time. I'm so glad that you're here. I see people are loading up. And if you haven't been to my workshops before, I usually keep them very casual. This is a virtual happy hour. So cheers to you. I've got a lovely Pinot Noir, and I just learned today from a new study that red wine is even more healthy for me than I thought before, right? So cheers to you. Great. I can see that you're in. Wonderful. I'm going to go large on my chat, and I am going to screen share, get right into this workshop so that you can see and hear it. Great. So you should be now seeing my screen, my goal setting screen. So if you can see that, go ahead and say yes. Great. And let's jump in. Let's do this. We're going to goal planning setting. I've got a lot to go over. I'm so excited to have you all here. I see you already got used to the chat. Get used of that chat where you chatted where you're from. I've got people from all over the world, all over the country, all over, just everywhere. So it's so good to have you here. And I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. The more you can be honest and comment and soul search in the chat, you're helping others along. So we're all in this together, and that's what makes it kind of fun. So let's talk about what you're going to learn, what I'm going to go over. I'm going to talk about 10 practical steps to keeping goals. There's a reason so many of us do not keep the goals that we set for us. So I've done a lot of studies on this. I do this presentation once a year, but every year I change it up because I learn something new. And then there's also emotional steps that go along with those practical steps to kind of move us forward and keep those promises for ourselves. I've created an acronym, a reset acronym that will recharge your energy, reignite your life, and I think it'll help you to remember it more because it's an acronym. And then we're going to get into 7 action items where you're just going to write it all down for total success. I'm going to also walk you through kind of the Stage Your Designer's marketing calendar, just kind of strategy, since I know a lot of you in the survey. Thank you for filling out that survey. I base a lot of my presentation on that. A lot of you said that you really needed help with marketing, social media. That's why I'm doing that. And we're going to brainstorm specific example goals for all levels. So if you're just looking into the industry, I've got great goals for you. If you're a veteran stage or designer, I've got great goals for you. So I'm going to speak to all levels of people as much as I can. We're going to talk about systems, and I'm going to share some real stories and successes, and of course, photos. And if I give you all of that great information, go ahead in the chat room. Is it okay if I walk you through some of my training courses and give you some specials on that? Is that okay with you? Go ahead and put yes in the chat room. If that's a deal, I'm going to give you lots of free info and then just kind of wrap up some of what my course and what I'm about. Great. Thank you guys. You guys are great. Getting used to that chat. This is perfect. Who is this for? You are in the right place if you are a new stager. If you're thinking about the industry, you just heard about staging, or you've been kind of, shadowing the industry for a while, wondering how the heck you can take your passion and design and start a business. If you're a real estate agent looking into staging, if you're a veteran home stager, this is for you. Even if you're just a design enthusiast and color level, I think you're going to love this. So go ahead, put in the chat room which one of these did you fall into, if any, because I would be really curious. Or if you're an interior designer, whatever, you're in the right place. Basically, if you like to see rooms that go from this to this, you're in the right place. Right? Okay. If that's you, then you just did it. Wonderful. Great. Okay, who am I? My name is Audra, and I started the first online mixed media staging and design training company way back in 2006. In fact, this January 26th, I'm celebrating 15 years of doing this, and I absolutely love it. I've got awards, I blog for the National Association of Realtors, and, I've been in a lot of different articles and magazines or whatever. The point, my favorite thing, the thing that gets me up in the morning, thing I absolutely love is that I'm really proud to have trained the most successful and award-winning stagers in the industry. I love taking people who love design and have a passion for it and walking them through how to start a business doing what they love. I love that. That is my go-to. That is my meaning. And if you've been shadowing this industry and you see this logo, HSR certified, those are my people. They're people who've gone through my staging and design training. If you see this logo, people have gone through my color training, and this logo, people have gone through my expert e-design training. So if you have gone through any one of my trainings, you know I get so nervous prior to all of these workshops. A shout out from you. I always love to see it. Always gives me a boost. Thank you. If you're on this workshop, which I hope you are, my people. But that's a little bit about me. Okay, now let's talk about you. Okay. All right. This is your first soul searching question, and I want you to really think about it. Okay. Are you moving today? Are you moving towards your dreams with real momentum? I just want you to think about that for a moment. You don't have to be super honest in the chat room yet. Do you even know what those dreams are? Right? Do some of us don't even know. We are in such busy mode, we don't even really know what sets our heart on fire. Right? I love that you guys are honest. Go ahead. So tell me your yeses or nos. Do the soul searching. Are you? You know, there are some weeks I realized I did not move toward my dream. I did not. And there are some that I'm like fired up, you know, heart on fire, and it's going. I love it. You guys are great. Now, if you have any questions about me or anything, you can save them towards the end. I'm going to take your questions at the end. I always have to preface that. But thanks, you guys. All right. Or do you sometimes feel like this guy? The hamster on the wheel. Hopefully he's a little moving for you. He's my little animation. Or this gal, you know, where all of a sudden you had these great plans, you're moving around, and it's just not working for you. Here's the point. Time flies, right? We all agree with that. But you are the pilot. You are in control of that flight. So just always remember that. That's kind of what I want to reset this training for. 1 minute you're young and having fun, and the next you're turning down the stereo in the car to see better. My sister sent me that, and that is about right. I blinked, and all of a sudden I'm sending my kid off to college next week. What happened, right? So can you relate to that? Are you in the if you're in the chat room, you can relate to that. All of a sudden, life just got a little bit ahead of you. Yeah. But this New Year's was really different. Do you agree with me? I feel like there's something very different about this year, 2021, from any other New Year, right? I mean, 100 in a survey recently done. I mean, after the crazy year we've had, I mean, a world pandemic. How many people could say they lived through that, right? 100% of people are very hopeful for 2021. I think that when that clock ticked, I was like, yes, out of 2020, right? I think you agreed. But 50% of people are a little fearful too, right? I get it. And that's easy to do. So let's talk about how we manage this. Let's talk about some practical steps so that we can fly that plane of ours, right? We can control that time that's going by. So the first practical step that I know you probably know, but you're probably not doing, like sometimes I don't always do, is you want to write down your goals and you want to check them off, right? Sounds easy, right? But what I say, the better focus is, rather than focusing on that one big goal and writing it down, write down that goal and then write down the mini intentions that you need to do to get to that goal. Those are the critical things. Because it's really multiple intentions that are going to help you reach your goal. Those are called your baby steps. So many times what we do is we just focus on the big goal, but we don't focus on the baby steps. And while we're doing that, we kind of need to remove the time suckers in our life in order to spend time on those baby steps and really also think about goals that we are passionate about and good at. You know, what sets our heart on fire? I talked to you about that. Now, when I use the word intention, I really love that word, those baby intentions, because it is really a determination to act in a certain way. It's a resolve, which I think is just like a great word, right? And it's also important and significant. And it really is. It's like what we intend to bring about in our life. So if your goal is to lose 20 pounds, how many of you in the chat room, your goal is to lose 20 pounds like me? Hey, raise my hand. Yes. Your intention every day, maybe to set time aside to exercise, right? Another intention might be just to cut sugar for the day, right? You write it down. Another intention might be to start counting those calories. right? And it is those many intentions met that will help you reach your goal. Now, I gave you this little bonus kind of calendar worksheet. This is kind of what I use. And what I like is these white little buttons, they're the goals, right? They're the goals, the big dreams. But these little lines are where we can put our multiple intentions to help us reach that goal. So in that email I got that, I will also send it in a follow-up email because it also has the calendars, which I really use for you. So let's say your goal as a stager or designer is to make 6 figures just doing consultation-based business, as a designer or stager. So to reach that goal, you need to think, okay, I would need 2 staging consultations a week at least. That's at $200 a piece, $400. And I would want one of those staging consultations to move itself into a staging day where I'm back at the home working with the client, reworking their stuff. That's $700. Maybe I do a color consultation because I love color. That's another $350 for that week. And maybe for those 2 consultations or other consultations, I'm doing some shopping where I'm going shopping for clients. Maybe that's $250. And then one of those staging jobs in the past turned into a move-in redesign at $700, and now you are at $2,400 a week or $120,000 a year on 20 hours. So those are your multiple intentions to get you to a monetary. I know a lot of you like the idea, and then you'd have to work backward to what kind of intentions will get you to the marketing side. So that's generally how that works. So let's talk more about those practical steps. I always use a bird's eye calendar. I gave you my bird's eye calendar. There's literally no room on that page but anything for that 4 weeks. And then I write down my planned goals at the beginning of the week. What do I want to get done? What's going to happen this week? And then I write down my completions because so many times we don't celebrate all the things that we have gotten done. So focus on completing 3 priority items a day. That's one of the problems that all of us have is we put too much on our plate. Pick your top 3 and make sure that some of them align with your goals, your passion, and your talent. Because so many times it's not that you need to do more, it's rather that we need to focus sometimes on less. Sometimes we focus on so much that we get this overwhelm and we find out the day went by and we were paralyzed. We got nothing done. Can you relate to that? Have you had days where you're like, I have so much to do today that it just freezes you? Because I can absolutely relate to that. Go ahead and put it in the chat room. I'm watching you guys. Yes. Yes, Megs. Yeah. All right. Because at the end of the day, busy does not mean productive. I really have to remind myself of that because I could be busy doing some time-sucking activities like on social media, commenting and liking all my friends' posts. But guess what? I got nothing done there, right? I didn't build my business. I didn't insert any creativity in my life. I didn't flex any creativity muscle. So calendar your intentions in pencil. On the calendar I give you, here's the 2-week calendar. So you can, and it's on that workbook I gave you. I recommend you calendar your intentions in pencil, but you calendar your 3 daily priorities in pen because you're getting those 3 done. I do that. I put the pencil stuff and then I go pen, pen, pen. These are the 3 things I'm getting done. And guess what? Ever since I've been doing that, I've been getting that stuff done. And I love it. The calendar was in the email I sent you, but I will send it in a follow-up email as well. And it looks like this. You can see there's no room on the white. I didn't even put my logo on here because I want you to have all the space. So you write your goals at the beginning of the week, and at the end, you put what you accomplished. What did you get done? Who did you work with? I love that. So I want you guys to know that already, if you do that, if you write down those goals, you're 42% more likely to achieve them. And scheduling the action and goals in advance will triple your chance of success. So, all right, workshop over. Kidding. No. So just by doing that one little activity, you are killing it. You are doing so much better than you used to. It's just about taking the time, maybe after this workshop, to write those things down. And don't worry, I'm going to give you all sorts of good ideas. I'm going to give you all sorts of good goal ideas. All right. But let's get to the emotions, because this is really the hitching point for me personally. Most of us feel powerless to change. And a lot of times our negative self-talk, our imposter talk, it holds us back. Do you relate to that? This is where I want you to be honest in the emotional sections. Do you sometimes have that negative self-talk? I could never do this. I could never be a stager or designer. Who would ever believe that I could do that, right? That's your negative self-talk. The battle is between your ears. It really is. It really is. And you're not alone. Statistically, over 70% of our thoughts or our self-talk is negative. I just learned this statistic. Isn't that awful? It's really awful. What makes things worse, not only are we kind of surrounded by negativity, especially now that we have news 24/7 and social media, did you know that 86% of people right when they wake up in the morning, before they put their feet on the ground, are checking their phone the moment they wake up? Isn't that crazy? Okay, is that you? If that is you right now after this workshop, you are putting that phone downstairs. You are not doing that. Because no wonder we start with negative self-talk. I mean, the moment I open up my news, I start to feel very powerless, right? But here's what I want you. This is a great metaphor that I just learned that I'm really putting into play, what I really love. The power plant does not have energy. It doesn't. It generates energy. So your self-talk is your generator. That's what's generating energy, your body. You don't just automatically wake up with energy. You have to generate it in a lot of different ways. We're going to talk about that and setting goals that will help you to generate that energy in your life. So generating more energy, that brings me to my acronym, RESET, okay? And I recommend, I'm doing this morning routine, see how long you could do it, but it is really, this isn't about, you guys are being so hard on yourself, even in the chat room. No more negative self-talk. We are going to be only good to ourselves, okay? We are going to reset. Number one, we are going to wake up and remind ourselves of something motivating, good, inspiring, or energy focused, or just remind ourselves of the power and the strength and the gratitude that is already in our lives. Because it's so easy to focus on the negative, right? We naturally are, we're in tune to naturally go that way. But if you focus on one thing, maybe it's a favorite poem, maybe it's lyrics in a song. If you're a spiritual person, maybe it's a Bible verse. Wake up to that instead of your phone and just read it out loud. That's your R. You're waking up to something positive. That's your first thing. The battle between your ears is starting out right when you wake up, positive. And then you can think, this is why you're all laying in bed, guys. Establish your 3 priorities. Hopefully the day before you kind of set them. Think about that and plan success for yourself. Envision it, right? And then you can do your big stretch, right? We got to move our body. Everybody will say that, but it is so true in the morning once you do that. So we're at RES, reset, stretch, move the body. And this is just a generic. Sometimes what we have to do to really get that positivity, to build that energy, that power plant energy in our lives is we need to eliminate some of those energy suckers. And I know you know what it is. In the chat room, you tell me what is your energy sucker. For me, I have the time-sucking habit of playing solitaire on my phone. I know that is such a sad thing, but I literally do that. Ask anyone I know that I know. What is your TV? Yes, Netflix, Facebook. Oh, there are so many things. And some of us need to eliminate the limiting beliefs that we have in our lives. We don't believe that we have the power to learn what we want. Negative activities, or even sometimes some people in our lives, just like, oh, the phone rings and you're like, oh, yeah, I love it. You guys are really good. Because when we can eliminate some of the time suckers, because I know most of us feel already overwhelmed and we don't have time in the day, that gives us time to do what we love and fill our lives with more creativity and learn something new and generate energy. You generate energy in your life because that creativity in your life is a compass. I imagine most all of you. Oh, this is a great example of it. In my training on day one thing I tell people you can do this today. If you're thinking about the industry, looking into the industry, one thing I tell people to do is creativity is a muscle, right? And the more we do it, the stronger we get. So Kelly shared this in our private Facebook group. She just tackled her own entryway. And that's the first thing I tell people to do when they jump out of my training. Pick a corner. Why don't you style your coffee table or style your entryway? Look how great she did. And take a photo of it, because that's part of just practicing our art form. And even if you're just a design enthusiast, you're stretching that creative muscle. It gives you time to do more of what you love. Do you get it? Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. A pretty smart guy, Steve Jobs, came up with that. And I know most of you, you're on this because we all have something in common. Go ahead and put it in the chat room. Have you been redecorating or designing your room since you were a kid? Does that fit you? Does that sound like you? You love design. You walk into a room and you can't help but notice all those little details, all those little things, right? We are this really rare breed. We think everybody's like us, but they're not. They're not. But that is our passion. That is our design. And then I have to ask you, how much of that are you doing on a daily basis? Yeah. All right. So a lot of us have to just believe in ourselves and our ability to learn what you need to grow. So if you had that negative, oh, I can never do that, or I can't do this, you can. And some of us just need to raise our dream standards. We need to rise above. Some of my experienced veterans, maybe you need to scale up. Maybe it's time to invest in that warehouse, invest in that truck. Trust yourself. Because only you know what and can reach that dream. You're the pilot, remember? And we need to remove the fear by thinking differently about it. How many of you sometimes, I mean, I'm just as guilty, we let the fear step in and it paralyzes us. And I love this quote by Marie Forleo, one of my mentors. Fear is not the enemy. Waiting to stop feeling afraid is. So if you've been waiting to stop feeling afraid before you do, you name it, your dream, that is not the enemy. In fact, spending too much time trying to defeat or eliminate your fear is only going to keep you stuck. Action is the antidote to fear. The trick is allowing yourself to feel the fear while you take action. Make the phone call, even if your pits are sweating. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Raise your design rates, even if it makes you want to hurl. The fastest way out of your fear is through it. And we are all through this. Guys, I am fearful every time I start one of these workshops. I can't help myself. But the moment I get started and the moment I start acting, I have so much fun. And then I end each call going, why don't I do this every night? I'm kidding. It is really true. Action is the antidote. And I love this quote too. The more scared we are of something, it means we need to do it. That's really it. The more scared you are, it means that is important to you. And it is important to the growth of your soul. I love it. You guys are so encouraging to me in this comments. I love your comments. So, okay, honesty time. What would you step out and do if you could not fail? You guys are all learners. You took the time to be here. You're so smart to plan your 2021. If you could not fail, what would you try and do? What would you do? Would you write that book? Would you start that business for some of you? Would you buy that moving truck, my veteran stagers, or that warehouse space? You know, or do those sales calls, I said something, or raise those prices. If you could not fail, what would you step out and do? Scale up. I love it. So I'm going to get into the 7 action items for growth. But before I get into that, I have a story, and I'm going to talk to you about my specials really quickly. This story is a story I shared with you in an email or in a newsletter. It was about a couple weeks ago, but this subject, she just sent this to me in December, Megan Bristol, one of my members. She had gone through my staging and design training, and the subject of the email was, "You changed my life." And she said, "Hey, Audra, I want to thank you for giving me the confidence to chase my dreams this year. It's a year oozing with so much sadness and hardship, but professionally, it's been one of my best. I took your online training in March." Remember, guys, that was when COVID was. She launched her business, Tahoe Modern, in May, and in 6 months, December, she will be closing the books on a 6-figure salary, right? Okay, how cool is that? And there she is in the gorgeous room that she renovated. I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what she did. But the first thing that she did, the first thing we can learn is she chased her dream that year. She decided to believe and choose in herself, which I love. Her story is a little different because she started with staging. And I always tell people in my training, you start with staging, but there are so many different directions you can take your business. She saw that an opportunity to extend into comprehensive design plans. She took kind of the e-design plans that I also have in my e-design training to work with remote buyers, and she ran with it. Her real estate market is also more crazy than any other market I've seen. Tahoe, the moment the house goes on the market, it sells. How many of you guys relate to that? Yeah, it happened. So she decided some of her staging had slowed, and she realized she needed to think of something different. Tahoe is a second home ownership community, and what she does is she offers turnkey furniture packages. How cool is that? She put it on her website. That's why I say you put it out there. You put your dream, you put your package, you put your service out there on your site. And she spoke to that package. The client and her talk, they align on the designs. They use my eDesign design files, which is the technology I recommend for your vision boards as a designer. And then she does the rest. She purchases, receives, installs, styles, and then she does a big reveal for the client. It's like a little HGTV moment. She went from running the operation out of her garage, hey guys, that's where everybody starts, to leasing an 1,800 square foot warehouse, and she even bought that truck. Some of you mentioned scale up. There she did in 6 months. But she didn't have a ton of clients. She had 20 turnkey clients where she did these big packages, and she did about 10 staging jobs. It's been fast and furious, but she's never felt a stronger sense of purpose. How cool is that? I love to share these stories. I even have a couple more for you guys. But the thing that she said, and this is what so many of us need, you need that little push to get over the edge. So she told, thank you for pushing me over the edge. I didn't want to feel like an imposter. That was where her fear was coming in. And your training allowed me to walk into a new profession with confidence. And that's it. Sometimes we need that little bit of confidence. So I have some good news. If for a lot of you I know in the survey said you were looking into the industry. So now I have a little word for you. For those of you who are looking into the staging and design industry, this market stagers are doing, like Megan, fairly well. Every market is different, but staging is based on the real estate market, and the real estate market is fairly hot. But even if staging in your area is tricky, design and remodeling work is even hotter. So if you're woe is me on your staging, guess what? Remodeling and design is hotter than ever. And there is plenty of directions that you can take to flex your creative muscle and grow your design business. And in fact, I'm seeing a lot of stagers even turning down business. They're so busy. You do the marketing. And if you don't believe me, I've got some articles for you. This one, January 5th, Gen X millennials are likely to keep the home buying strong for years to come. I've been saying for the last 5 years, there's never been a better time to be a stager and designer. And it's so true. And because of COVID in our industry, design kind of took center stage. People were stuck in their homes and they really wanted help. They're working from home. They need a new office remodel. They need a new extra space in their outdoor space. They need someone with an eye like you to help them. And this one I really love. This is a Yelp report that just came out. Now, if you're a stager and designer and you're not on Yelp, it's time to get on Yelp, because check this out. In this new Yelp report, they noticed that searches for design and interior designers increased 372% in September compared to the same month a year before. Almost 4 times more people are searching for people like you. All of you on this line said you've been decorating since you were a kid. There are people who need you. How awesome is that? So here's where I get into my specials, and here's where I have a training special for you. If you're just on the edge and you're thinking, okay, Megan went from fear to fortune because she gained confidence by learning. For some of you, it is just that, the willingness to learn what it is that you need to know to grow and find your sweet spot. So this is Megan's board. This is the design package board that she creates for a client. And this is just the living room. She did actually every room in this house. But look at this living room. She took these products. You should know that as a stager and designer, when you go through my training, you get trade pricing. So she gets to buy wholesale all of these things and then sell them retail to her clients, right? So if this couch was a $4,000 couch retail, she can even give them a little bit of a discount, so they're still getting a better price than if they were to buy it themselves, and she'll still make probably 50% of that sale, $2,000 on that couch. You see how that works? That's the beauty of wholesale. And then there you go. There's the install. Isn't that a perfect? After it shows you every piece that she has on the board, she put the vision out there for clients. This is what I do in my e-design training. And then there you go. There's the room. It's all put together. So a lot of you may want to just focus on a niche, like e-design, like color, like staging. And here's where I have a special for you. I have a coupon code. It is expiring Saturday at midnight. I just do this. You have a couple days to think about it. Let me see if I can give you the link. I'm going to put it up and see if you can see it. Send, go. All right. You should see this little box that says use this special code, $50. It's a coupon code, GREAT2021, to get the discount. Now, if you click on that button, it's just going to open up another link and take you to our courses page, because I'm actually giving this $50 discount on every single one of my courses, which I rarely ever do, but I'm kicking off 2021 for you guys, right? I'm going to close that out. And basically, you could save up to $150 if you did all 3 courses, but you just go to the buy page. Here's where you put the coupon code right there, GREAT2021. And you'll get your discount, but only till Saturday at midnight, okay? Because it's already Thursday. I only do it for a limited time. So some of you, quick questions on the e-design training. That's kind of those boards that she was using. my course page, that link will show you all of the details of every one of my courses. There's a lot to them, but you actually get design boards that you can use. So you're never reinventing the wheel. And I've got lots of testimonials even on the page. I don't want to go too much into that. Somebody asked a really good question. What would be the first course? If you're brand new, starting a business, the staging and design course. It's the 3-week course. The e-design and the color course are 3 days online courses. They're online, they're self-paced. If you like the way I teach, like what I'm doing here, this is what the course is. So it's 3 days, color and e-design. You have access for a year. But the 3-week staging and design at $9.99, it's $9.50 with the discount. That is your course to start. That is your motivation factor. It's going to walk you through connecting with all those vendors, starting your business, what your consultations look like, how to stage, how to design, and all of the how-to along the way. And in the notes, I did give you guys a link to a workshop, a free workshop on e-design and color to give you a little taste if you wanted it. Because some of you I know had a goal I saw on your survey to add color. You just weren't super color confident. And so if you want to add color to your business, some of my stagers and designers, you would want to take my 3-day course. This is your intentions, right? Add the color service to your website. That would take maybe a day. And then follow my marketing steps. Every one of my courses gives you lots of marketing how-to and all of the forms, guides, funnels. So you want to align your intentions with your dreams and your goals. I'm going to make sure. But remember, it's a limited time. I just have to go over that. So using that coupon code, you'll have it. I'm going to send you guys an email follow-up too with the replay video of this and the coupon code so you have time to think about it. Sandy asked, is it possible to extend? Absolutely. In any one, they can renew. There's a renewal. Most of the Expert Designer and the color, that you can get done easily. But for the staging, a lot of people want to stay in the directory. I'm always adding to the training and evolving it. So the renewal is $250 if you want to, and if you're getting business from being in the directory. That's really why people do that. The market. Oh, Carrie, you are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the shout outs, you guys. All right. Yeah. And the color, you get all of the cheat sheets, the guides. It's really going to help you be really confident going into course. I've had some people who they just go, I don't know if I want to do staging design, but I really just want to do color. That's my jam. This training is you could do that and, within 3 days, offer color consultations to client. Put up your Yelp ad for color consultations, guys, and you walk through my process and you'll be good. Christiane, the moment you buy, you get to start immediately. It's all self-paced and online. It's at your fingertips. And the beauty of online training, which I always tell people, is you have the ability to go back to it. And that's why it's important that any staging and design that you want to do online training, because you may take a class and then 2 months later get your first consultation and you're trying to remember your notes from your class. Well, what did she say? I can't remember what the teacher said. The beauty of my training is you go right back to me. You go to my section on consultations. You get that shot in the arm, that little momentum. You get that confidence boost. And so many of my members do that. If you're on the line and you have taken my training, do you go back into my training and check on things just for a little confidence boost? I usually hear that a lot. And that's why people don't realize the value of online. You don't have to start immediately. You have a year access. Yeah. Oh, good. Cheryl says she goes back all the time. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it is. It's just like your little, shot in the arm. Yeah. Great. Okay. So I got that out of the way, my little specials, and I'm going to send you the email follow-up, but let's get to your 7 action items for growth. Lindsay, I love you. You're funny. The first action item is we have to actually look back to move forward. How do you know what you want to do for your business or moving forward if you're not actually reflecting a little bit about how your year went, And Megan was doing that in her example, which I love. She reflected on what she loved. So let me ask you guys, what in the last year did you enjoy working on? And what in your calendar were you most proud of? So if you're someone looking into staging, I bet in the last year, you probably maybe staged and sold your own home and to a lot of realtor acclaim. That's a lot of reasons why people get into this. They go, oh my gosh, I did this in my own home and my agent loved me. Or the agent did. If you're an agent, you're like, oh my gosh, I helped somebody with staging and it was actually quite a fit for me. Or if you're an experienced stager or a new stager, what part of the staging did you love? Did you love the vacant side? Did you love the occupied? Did you love the design portion? Oh, Janelle, yeah. Did you love the renovating? Open a showroom. I love that you said that. Flipping a few houses. Danzy, woo, that's great. I bought 3 places this year and I renovated one. I'm going to show you the after photos, guys, soon. I just got it staged by an awesome stager in my area. And I also did an outside color consultation on the other. Yeah, so I know you guys are busy. A lot of the things. What do you love? What did you love doing? What brings you alive? What did you do that felt meaningful? It kind of, you got to express yourself. If you don't know what you want to do, follow what you love learning. That's always what I tell people to do. To get in your sweet spot, you need to follow what you love to learn. I've been doing this, I told you, 15 years, and I am just as excited today about what I do as I was the moment I started. And if you still don't know, go back to what you found meaning in. Your creativity compass is your true north. You have to feed that creativity compass. That compass will tell you what it wants you to do, where it wants you to go. And the lessons that we learn reflecting is, what don't you want to do again? And what did you try that didn't work? And maybe for some of us, it's time to let go, right? Maybe one person, one negative Nelly said something and it kind of shot our spirits down. Forget them, right? We're moving forward. We're the pilot of our life. Yeah, if you're in something you don't like, you are the pilot. Maybe you need to let that go. So here's some examples of some of the things that even my stagers speaking to you, maybe we need to let go of some of the clients that are not worthy of you. I've been more intentional these days about doing that. It's not like a negative. It's more of, are we a fit? Someone will call and talk about, want to know about the training. Sometimes they're not a fit for me, and I get that. It's okay of me to let go of that. Or some of us need to let go of control. Okay. Some of my stagers have to have control over every little bit of every part of their business. I have started letting go of that. Let go of the bookkeeping, maybe. Let go of it's time to outsource. The beauty is it's so easy to outsource right now. So easy these days to do that. Everyone's working from home and there's so many Fiverr and Upwork. There's so many sources online that'll help you do that. Or some of us just don't want to work on weekends. Maybe you have a terrible job that you're always working weekends. You don't want to do that. Or some of us are, need to let go of the idea of taking clients out of fear or not discounting our service or the need for spaces to be perfect. Do you guys find yourself in some of these categories? Yeah. Or not wanting to work for someone else. I love that, Lorraine. I get it. Guess what? You have to produce wherever you work. And when you work in your sweet spot for yourself, you will kill it, just like Megan did. Megan followed her dream and she had the best year ever. And she only did it for 6 months. Here's the thing. We have to be honest with ourselves. The highest performing people in the world are courageous. They practice that through honesty, transparency, and openness. Sometimes we just have to tap into that inner lion. You have a lion inside you. Trust me, I am with you. Sometimes I don't feel very lion, But when I look at photos that go from this to this, I go, yeah, that excites me. I love that. And I love working and helping people in this industry. So, okay, now that we've looked back, the past is not a place of reference. Or, I'm sorry, it's a place of reference. It's not a place of residence. So let's move forward. Let's brainstorm. I told you I would. Now we're going to go through the brainstorm, and I'm going to move quickly here. How are you going to activate your creativity over the next 6 months? Put it in the chat room. You have that creative muscle. What are you going to do? Somebody said flipping homes. Someone said renovate a kitchen. I want to hear it. Someone said I just need to get started. I love it. Follow your heart and the money will follow. You are so right. I love it. Finish the training. Yes. Stage an Airbnb. Get educated. Get started. Write a blog. I love it. You guys are great. Yeah. So in my training, I have kind of these steps to getting started, and you don't even actually need, a lot of you ask, do I need certification to get started? You don't. My training is a certification training, and it will save you oodles of time and months of agony of questioning, are you doing the right thing? But you really, that's the thing I love about this industry. If you have a passion for design, you have that talent, which you do because you've been training yourself since you were a kid, get started. How do you get started? Create a vision for yourself. Create your story. How is it relatable? This is called your About Us page, guys. What is that mission in your life? Your mission to help sellers or or help people love their home. What is that mission? Tap into it, feel the power in that. Redesign and start photographing spaces in your home, like I showed you people do. That's building your portfolio. Brainstorm your business name, because the name is the fun part. And once you pick that name, you open up champagne and you reserve your domain. My members know that I always say that. And it's true, because we got to celebrate the steps that we take where we're following our dream, where we're following our passions. Who are the clients you most want to work with? That was the thing that Megan asked herself, right? That's what I love about her question. What's your brainstorm? What type of design do you want to do more of? What part of a business do you like best? This is for my stagers and designers. What do you need to outsource? Maybe you're trying to be all things to all people, and there's some parts of services you don't really like. Don't do it. Outsource it. Connect with another stager and designer and refer each other business. What efficiencies do you need to work on? What part of the creative world makes you feel most alive? And then once you understand that, you can brass tack and calendar plan it, because you've got your 6 months, print out 6 of those pages and ask yourself, how am I going to make money in 6 months? What do I want to commit to focus on in 6 months? Maybe it's one service. Maybe it's just color. I'm going to focus on color. I'm going to do all the marketing. I'm going to get that Yelp ad up. I'm going to start doing all the marketing steps that Audra recommends for color and see what happens. Put that service page up and see what happens. Because that's really kind of where we feel most alive. I always ask yourself this question. This is what I always ask myself. How am I going to make money doing meaningful, passionate work for the right kind of client? Doesn't that all sum it up? Isn't that puts me in my sweet spot? And sometimes it's not just about making money. It's just doing the passionate work. So write down those ultimate goals, plan out those mini intentions, you guys, and then put it on the calendar, like I said, and then feel the power of writing it. Because remember, I told you there is power to getting it on paper. Of course, I believe you should have a Google Calendar and keep it on technology. I am a tech girl, but when you put it onto paper and you have it in front of you, you should see my messy desk. I have a messy desk written with all my months. That's what I have in front of me, my intentions. If your goal is to start a part-time home staging business, okay? Whoops. What happened there? If your goal is to start a part-time home staging business side hustle, invest in certification training. I would recommend. Of course, I'm going to say that, but it is true. It's going to save you tons of time or some sort of niche training. Start redoing photographing spaces in your own home. Research other stagers and designers in your area. Review their brand. Get inspired by it. There's a lot of business out there for all of us. Look at their services and pricing and their style. Don't do that to imitate them. Do that to be different. That's how you find the niche. That's how Megan did. She looked at what other designers and stagers were doing and she realized this is where the need is. Research your business name and look through catalogs. Start connecting with those vendors. Start knowing where to shop, right? That's the fun part. If your goal is to quit your corporate job in 2021, invest in training. Go through it slowly. A lot of you have full-time jobs. You can't just kick it to the curb, right? Well, you can actually start this business on the side. I have a lot of people who do that while they're working full time. You just go through the training slowly. You build your business while working. You take on clients during the weekends. You are your own boss. You get to determine your own hours. So go ahead and do that and outsource the vacant work. I get it. Vacant work is harder to do on weekends. You don't have to be a vacant stager. You could be a zero overhead consultation based and build that marketing foundation so that when you're ready to make that leap, which I've seen people make, you can do it. Susan Baca was she took my training years ago, and she is one of the premier designer and stagers in Atlanta, Georgia, and I love to share her work. But what makes her story really compelling, go ahead in the chat room and ooh and ah, because this is really nice, right? Who doesn't love to look at photos like this? Look at all the layers, the way she layered the space. But she took the training working a full-time, very grindy corporate job. So she was in that job, and that was not easy. And then she realized she did kind of reworked it on the side, built her brand, built her marketing, and then she knew staging vacant homes was her niche. She found her niche. She pursued it with all her heart. And once she did that, it was a game changer for her business. And I love it because I said, I got to share you and her story. And she said, I love to see if my experience helps to encourage even just one person to follow their dreams, then that is amazing. There's always going to be learning bumps, right? Remember, courageous, honest people. That's hard. Fear is always going to be there with every step of the way. But action is the antidote. And she didn't have a single regret, which I do love. So let's opportunity brainstorm for my experienced stagers and designers, or my new stagers and designers, because I did that for my people looking into the industry. I'm trying to speak to all levels. Some of you need to get better at recommending color, right? Maybe that's a goal for you. Some of you need to get better at upselling your design services. You're getting all the staging business, but you never get design business because you're not telling those clients you can actually do that for them. Maybe a goal is to win a RISA award or get one agent partner per month. If your goal is to get one agent partner per month, what do you need to do to make that happen? Some of you need to automate a lot of your business or automate your inventory using Stage Force. I recommend. Some of you need to update your brand or your website, right? I mean, maybe it doesn't look as good as it used to because it's dated. Remember, websites and brands are like iPhones, they date. Some of you need to create an email list or grow your email list or take on a leadership position. These are example goals. I'm putting it all down for you so you can brainstorm. So if your goal is to add a service to your business, create a separate page on your website and for search engine optimization. I say SEO for short, but basically that's the Google juice, right? And then be clear on that page of what your pricing is, your deliverable, and your package. You package it. Remember, like Megan did. She put together a package. She had that service on her site. When she did any kind of Facebook ad or Google ad, it took people to that service page. A lot of you who are stagers and designers, you do Google ads and Facebook ads, but you're sending them to the homepage of your site. Don't do that. Send it to that specific service page. So now I have to share a story of Kathy DeLeo, who I love. And anyone who's one of my members who's in Facebook or my Stagers Connect group knows she is just killing it. She sent me this email. Hey, Audra, the Christmas design business took me by surprise in December. She had so much Christmas design business and it surprised her. She's a brand new stager for the most part. She started the training this time last year. She was just like you guys. And she promoted the Christmas design in October on her Facebook and was getting a lot of commercial stuff. But in the beginning of December, she started getting a lot of residential. And these were clients that wanted to spend $6,000 to $7,000 on holiday. I mean, they want to do the whole Christmas tree, all that. So they were high-end clients looking for someone to do all of the holiday design for them. How many of you would love to do holiday design? That's your jam. How cool is that, right? Her invoices were around $10,000 per job. But how did she get there? Let me tell you. She set up her holiday webpage a year ago. So I should say about 6 months. Right when she went through my training, in my training, I have a holiday design training, and I tell people, create your separate service page, like I'm telling you now. If you do organization, make that a separate page. If you do design, make that a separate page. If you do e-design, make that a separate service page. Color, same thing. And what she did, and I always say on that page, use keywords. What are the Google keywords that people will be searching for you? So she named her page Holiday Decorating Tampa. She lives in Tampa, Florida. And lo and behold, within a matter of months, what do you know? Anyone who searched on Google for holiday decorating in Tampa would get her page, right? That's cool. So she's getting oodles of calls. She's wondering, where are these people finding me from? From her one Google page. She has a website that we built for her. We do have a website product for those of you who are afraid of websites. I get it. We never want that to slow up your business. And that's just kind of advice that I give on the website. But it's WordPress. And that's the thing. There's WordPress, Google tends to like. That's all. So I love what she said. People were finding her. She got all sorts of jobs. But this one job that she really loved was her biggest success was decorating for a Tampa Bay Buccaneer player. She's actually going to do a workshop with me. For those of you who are members of mine, we're going to do a workshop in probably September, October, because she gave me all sorts of good tips, adding to my holiday training. But here she is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneer. How cool is that? Kathy. Anyway, so some example financial goals. If your goal is to double your income, consider every way, this is for my stagers and designers, that you are making money and add to it. Buy more wholesale. Some of you stagers, how many of you love to shop at Home Goods? Go ahead in the chat room. Go ahead. But yes, I know. I get it. And that's going to be where we always find our great filler things, of course. But when we buy more wholesale or we create wholesale design boards, I just did a post on that, guys, with this new company, Onsite Door. You actually make money on everything your client buys. All right. So some of us may need to buy more wholesale to lower our costs. Broaden your service offerings. Sometimes if you're just doing staging, I always say you can do staging, you can do design, you can do color. clients, once they get a taste of you and they love you and they're your person, don't let them go. Do another room in their house, do something fun, do something different. Always keep in touch with your clients, offer more value, increase your marketing numbers, get more eyeballs on your business. Because at the end of the day, getting to where you want to go doesn't just happen, right? It takes careful planning, productivity, and motivation. And that is why I'm circling back to the beginning of this presentation. Planning, writing it down, productivity, getting rid of the time suckers and focusing on the things that are fueling our energy, and motivation. The good news is in our industry, staging is a necessity. It's not a luxury. The target market is real estate agents. They're pretty easy to find. Guys are all over the internet and they're great people to work with. They're looking for solutions for their business. And there are different paths and niches that you can go, some of which cost there's zero, what I call zero overhead. You should just go in and do a 2-hour walk and talk with a seller and tell them what to do with what they have, and then go shopping for them. And there's a lot of different ways, like you saw with Megan and Kathy, to make multiple income streams. That's the thing I love about this industry. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about your calendar. And another thing that maybe in the marketing side, if you're a stager and designer, maybe some things that you're not focusing on or doing right. All right, let's talk about it. I'm going to give you this calendar. I just created a mini video tutorial. I told you that's my bonus to you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to email it to you tomorrow. But it's a 6-month social media calendar, and it's got I've got some tips for you in the way, a little challenge for you. But the cool thing about the staging and design industry is every month is something new to focus on. January is all about trends and organization. I am actually doing a free trends workshop with the Real Estate Staging Association at the end of this month. So if you stay on my email list, you'll get the reminder of that. February is about loving your home. March, April, and May are really about staging. But a lot of my people really love doing vacation rental design and Airbnb design. So that's also May and June, because those are hot seasons. If people aren't able to rent their vacation home, maybe it's because their photos look awful. I told you I just renovated a rental. I had it staged because I need great photos so that when I go to rent it, I'm going to get more money for it. Right. July is all about the benefits of shopping, Vegas market, and also the RESA convention. Hopefully you learn there. And then August, you really want to stage and sell before the fall comes. September, back to school. October, November, December, those are all getting ready for the holidays. Like you saw, Kathy, we have a service for almost every month of the year. And when you promote it on social media at different times, or just remind clients that this is available to them, that is helpful. So those are little reminders. That's why I have my 6-month social media calendar I'm giving to you as that little reminder. I love that, Lindsay. You're going to use that to content plan. You're right. You can batch your content. So that's what I walk you through in that video tutorial that I'm giving you tomorrow is January. Here are the special days. One day is clean your desk day. And you can do a funny photo of you with your messy desk, right? On Instagram. Instagram is super hot right now. So there's just easy ways to remind clients that you're there. For some of you, you may need to just consider some of the systems. If you're struggling in your business or you're feeling frustrated, you need to ask yourself, is your consultations leading to more work, leading to staging days? Maybe your consultation doesn't have the right process. Maybe you're not following a right structure to it, or maybe you're a little willy-nilly. Are your website visitors calling? What about your website is turning them off? Do you even know how many website visitors you have? Are your vacant proposals selling? Is your inventory organized and easy to turn over? Hot tip, if you are a stager with a lot of inventory right now, because inventory is so tight because of the COVID, it's a great time to put it on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. Start turning over some of that old inventory so you can buy new stuff. Las Vegas market is in April. We can go do some shopping. Are you getting referral income from vendors? Start working those partnerships. Is your business running efficiently? Those are all questions, guys, you can ask yourself from my stagers and designers. Are your clients referring you business? I know I'm seeing a lot of no's in the chat room. That's okay. Remember, this isn't about negative. This isn't about beating yourself up. I just want to get your wheels turning. Pick one thing, pick one goal, and then write down those mini intentions that you're going to do this month to get things better. Maybe you need to outsource that accounting. Let that go. Are you getting staging days from your consultation? So in my training, I have a very specific process for consultations and what you do and what you say and how you structure it. And I love this email I got from Miley because she's like, I just completed the training. I'm so proud of myself. I had 4 consultations. and I'm working on a full day staging job as of today. I brought my recommended props, which sold the client, and I was given the job on the spot. So what I tell people to do in the consultation, if you're going in for your 2-hour walk and talk consultation, you're telling what to do, bring a few props so that you can give the client a quick aha moment, right? So maybe that's just transforming a guest room, just doing the bed up, or I remember just a simple, vignette in a kitchen, maybe that's it. And it just shows them. So if a photo of just this set for the client, imagine now a full day of me in your home. You just saw me 20 minutes do that aha moment. Now have me come back for the full day. I'll walk you through every bit. And that's the beauty of it. And that's the beauty of systems. So that little tip that I gave her to bring in the props that I put in my training, and I have tons of tips like that, is what sold the client. No surprise to me. I've been doing this for 15 years. So part of considering your systems is carving out time to follow your dream. All right. Are you willing to carve out time to get rid of the time suckers and follow your dream? I'm speaking to you, all those people on this line that were thinking about the industry, thinking about getting into staging and design. I'm speaking to you because it's not a matter of I can't, it's I won't. What habits or patterns in your thinking is holding you back? And how can you change your mind about that? Remember my reset it. The battle is in your head. You control that. You are the pilot. And you absolutely can learn what you need to do well in this industry. I've seen enough people do it. You can do it. It's not usually an I can't, but I won't. So own that. Maybe this year is your I won't. That's okay. I have people who finally take my training. I say, like Megan, your push just finally did it. And I say, okay, but they say, I was following you for 5 years. And I finally just did it. I finally just jumped. And it's interesting. One thing we learned about this year with COVID is there's no real certainties, right? Everything seems crazy. What a crazy year we just went through. But I want to encourage you by jumping and jumping into that passion that will motivate and propel you. But you need to win the battle, and that's what's in here as well. And it's a constant reminder. Trust me, I do the same thing. Imposter syndrome, put it to the side. Fear syndrome, put it to the side, right? Perfectionist, Sandy, put it to the side. No entrepreneur is a perfectionist. You don't have to be. You got to move forward. A lot of people, they go through my training with like a fine tooth comb. I tell them, you don't have to do that. It's you jump around, skim around, you take what you need and move around and get all the resources right there. And don't beat yourself up over what you didn't hit. It's there for you, So here are the 7 action items for growth. I always recap, looking back to move forward, letting go in order to grow. Creative opportunity brainstorming. You need to actually brainstorm. Brass tacks. Then once you've done the big brainstorm, it's time to write it down. Put it on the calendar. Put those chosen goals down to paper. Consider your systems, habits, and patterns. And then invest in your growth and learning. Because sometimes we just can't do it on our own. And free stuff is exactly free. Like I know I've given you some good stuff here. This is nothing compared to obviously the paid stuff. And that's just the way things work. So what do you need to invest in, to skill up? And this is speaking to everybody. If you're a stager and maybe you don't have an inventory system, maybe you need to invest in that. 2021, skilling up, investing in yourself, that's a huge trend. I'm going to be speaking on trends, like I said, later this week. But what people or technology do you need to invest in to reach your goals? Skills training is the best investment because it's investing in yourself. So getting back to my training, because I know a lot of you guys had questions on that, it covers everything. It really does. Everything you need to know about starting a professional home stager and designing job, because details do matter. It is self-paced. It provides all the guides, and it also provides the advanced training. When I talked about Kathy doing the holiday design, or I also cover Airbnb design. I also cover feng shui, organization, model home staging. Oh, I meant to tell you guys, this next year, there's probably going to be more model homes built than ever. Home building is hot. So maybe from some of my experienced stagers and designers, get into, model home training and make that connect with home builders. It's a great opportunity. I give you all the sales sheets. These are in Canva, so you can print them out as flyers really easily. You edit them, change the color. You can change everything. If you don't know what Canva is, you're going to love it. I give you all the price sheets, the proposals. They're all in Word. Word too, so it's really easy for you to edit. The walkthrough guides, the order forms, so you know exactly what to ask. Your walkthrough guides of the home, this is the living room, so you can check, circle, client, do this, and walk to the next room. I give you your contracts so that you're covered. I give you the checklist so that you know, oh, what do I need to do next? What do I need to say next? I need to give that email, send this email to the client, you know, because I am a very anal person. I need that structured checklist. And then I give you flyers, you know, in Canva. We're always creating new things. So that you're never reinventing the wheel. If you want to know what the 3 weeks looks like, it's a lot. I know one of you asked which one to start. This is probably the big daddy. You guys. And it will walk you through. Now, I'm going to tell you right away, you're getting all sorts of great information day one, but it's like anything, you're going to take those baby steps. Don't worry, I've got your calendar in there where you're going to plan it out and go baby steps, baby steps. And everybody who's taking the training knows you're always overwhelmed at first. You're excited, overwhelmed, fearful. By the end of this training, you're confident. Like Megan, you don't feel like an imposter. You've learned what you needed. You've invested in your success. You're giving like a degree in a matter of weeks. It is complete A to Z, but we're also here for you. So if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the chat room. We have a Facebook group for support. The training is $9.99, but you have a $50 discount, so it's $9.50. And it's so funny because I'm sending my son to college and I'm spending a whole lot more than $1,000 on his college education. And we have a tendency to be so cheap with our own learning. I have to tell you, even for myself, that's one thing I let go of this year is I invested in like 3 different training programs for myself, you know, how to give a great workshop, how to give a better webinar. Somebody asked the 800 numbers. It's in every email I send, our 800 number. 888-563-9271. We keep regular business hours. We also have a chat because we're a small company. We're not always able to watch phone, but most importantly, I'm here even email. I'm your trainer. So I'm your person. Oh, good. Thanks, Scott. Thank you, Colleen. That was awesome. Yes, you guys are sweet. This email replay will be sent to you. I'm going to send that with the coupon code again, because I know I gave you a ton of information and links to the workbook and the calendar and the bonus because you guys are awesome. I want you to know details in systems matter. If you are a new stager and you're just trying to figure it all out yourself, I hope you don't do that. I hope you think about investing in yourself. That's a long road. And that will make or break your business. I love this, Trina. I shared her story in my last goal setting workshop a year ago. And her story, because she started the year before, was she started the training and then her daughter took the training and her husband, and they are a family business doing what they love. And this is what she had in terms of advice. But what's really cool is just this last month, her first employee, she just signed her first employee up to take the training, which I thought was like, wow, that is awesome. Good for her. She is killing it. Then Judith, I don't want you to be Judith. Judith considered the training for years. And then finally, she just invested in herself. You know, sometimes that's just, you know, you just have to do it. And so she's sorry that she waited so long. Give me your passion, 30 days and $9.50. I'm going to show you how to create a successful business doing what you love. I promise. Okay. Don't forget the offers are expiring. Any other questions that I can help you with in the chat room? I will do my best as I take a sip of my wine and help my learning, my new article. Okay. I love it. You guys are, let's see. I see you're typing and how long does the coupon, Charlotte, the coupon expires Saturday at midnight. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet, Renee. I love it. Thank you. Saturday at midnight, the coupon codes are expiring. And I'm giving you a coupon on every one of my 3 courses. The color, which is $7.49 normally. Now it would be $6.99. The e-design, which is normally $7.99, so it would be $7.49. Veronica, you're in! Woohoo! All right. Rebecca asked what's the approximate time frame to complete each day. I would say, you know, about 4 hours. So the color and e-design you could easily probably complete in 3 days. 4 hour for us. The staging and design, there's a lot of activities because you're starting your business. So you can calendar those activities, like, open up your, credit card account, checking account. I give you all the kind of the know-how and all that kind of nitty gritty. So I would say give it 4 hours, but the beauty is it's self-paced. There's no rush. And throughout the training, I tell you that it is a journey. It is not a race. The renewal fee is $250 for the staging training, but I always make sure people finish. You will finish. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Sonia. Oh, somebody asked, do you have to buy furniture when staging a vacant home? Yeah, I actually walk you through that in the training. There are actually furniture rental companies that you can partner with for the big stuff. So you don't need to invest in all that big stuff right away. Like Megan, she started in her garage. I always say first invest in all the little filler stuff, because the furniture rental company, furniture alone is just not going to look good. You do all the dial-in, all the layers that you saw Susan do in those photos. And that's how people get started. And they build out one room and one home at a time, and they start in their garage. Yeah, if there's two of us, you could split the price. Okay, Christine asked about partners. I have partner discounts. So the first one pays the full price at the $950 with the coupon, and then the second one only pays $499 for a partner discount. I have a lot of partners who do super well together. My sister is a stager partner, and that is a great thing to bounce ideas off of. You each get your training manual mailed to you. We mail you a large 300+ page training manual. So you each get that, and you'll each get your certificate. Crystal, a storage unit's so expensive. Okay, Crystal, I get it. That's why you need to start, connect with a commercial realtor, start looking at warehouse space. It might be a cheaper option for you. You really should look at that. But one thing I do talk to people about in the training is it's not just about vacant home. You don't need to do vacant homes. You see Megan, she doesn't hardly do vacant homes anymore. I mean, she's doing styling and staging and design packages. And now with some new technology that I've walked my clients through in my shopping section. If you are one of my trainers, I just did a brand new shopping section in the training. New technology, you can actually have the client purchase the stuff themselves, and you make the money off of everything they purchase because it's all wholesale stuff because of you as the designer. With the color course, Rebecca, you actually get, I have a binder for you to keep your large color samples. I send you the Sherwin-Williams deck, but I also connect you to your Benjamin Moore rep and Sherwin-Williams. You let them know they're going to send you all sorts of goodies, trust me. And then I give you all the forms and guides to get rolling on that. Cheryl, I know, would like to, yes, Claudette, after the staging training, you will be certified in both staging and redesign. And in fact, a lot of my stagers now do really high-end design. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You don't actually need a 4-year degree to actually, if you do well, they're going to love you. How to decide which company. Zanetta had a question about creating a website. Well, there's a lot of good website services out there. There's Wix, there's Weebly, there's Squarespace. We even have a website product. So if you go to my courses page, in fact, I'm going to put that up so that you guys can remember it. This is a link to my courses page. There we go, as we're discussing. I think you can see it. Hopefully you can see it. But that will walk you through, and you can add a website if you want. That's something we do. They're out of the box, just kind of beautiful, easy for you to edit. You can edit, change every little bit of it. Oh, Maria, I love that. Thank you. You're sweet. Okay, you guys have been amazing, and I'm going to close out of that so I can see you. Thank you so much. I hope you had a wonderful night. And I want you to know I consider it a huge honor and privilege to be here speaking with you. You took time out of your evening, and I hope you learned a little bit, got a little motivation. I hope you'll be like me and just let's put some goals to paper. Stay in touch. You can always email me, Audra@homestagingresource.com. That is me. I am there. I love to hear your success stories. If you're one of my members, you know I love those. That fuels what I do. I so appreciate you guys. Love you too. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Hopefully you enjoyed your drink, and I will see you. Hopefully I see you in the next trends workshop and other workshops. We'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.